Hi guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be taking a look at static routing in Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm just going to walk you through our topology today. We have Alice and Bob on both sides of their respective routers. We have Alice on the 192.168.1.2/24, this being 192.168.1.1. And over here we have Bob on the 2.2/24 again, and this will be 2.1 with this /30 in the middle, 10.10.1, 10.10.2. What we can think of is this is Alice's home router, R1, and this is Bob's home router, R2. How can we achieve connectivity between the two PCs so Alice can talk to Bob? We are here on Bob's PC, so can we ping Alice 192.168.1.2, and we get a destination host unreachable. Now can we ping that address, which is our default gateway out of our network, which is our next hop along, and we can. So what this is saying is to get to this network, it's taken our default gateway, which is here, and now it cannot reach the destination 1.2 because our router here has no idea how to get to that network over there. On the command line interface for router 1, which is this guy here, we want to tell Alice how can Alice's network reach the destination address of 2.0/24 because that's our network which Bob resides in. We want to create a static route on router 1 that defines exactly what we just spoke about. So we'll go to enable, configure T, and this is where you put in your static route. So we'll go for IP route, and if you hit question mark, we want our destination prefix, which is 192.168.2.0, because that's our network address, 255.255.0. And if we hit a question mark again, we can then do the forwarding router's address, which is the one we're going to go for. You can also do interfaces, so fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet, whatever the forwarding address interface may be. But for this, we're just going to go with 10.10.10.2 and hit enter. Hopping on to router 1, if we do the command show IP route, we can see at the bottom here our static entry 192.168.2.0 via 10.10.2. So we've now done this router, telling us how to get to that prefix, going via 10.10.2. And now you're probably thinking, well, that's great. We are now finished. So if we go onto Alice's machine here and talk to Bob, 192.168.2.2. Instead, the first time, do you remember on Bob, we got a destination host unreachable, but now if we delve a bit deeper, we can see that the requests are timing out. Our packet isn't reaching Bob. What I've done here is just brought up the simulation tab, which is located in the bottom right corner here, which shows us how the ICMP packet from Alice goes to Bob. Why exactly is it failing? So what we'll do is we'll click play. The packet goes from Alice to R1, which is what we expect. Goes from R1 to R2, goes to Bob, which is fine. Bob then sends it back because it's an echo, and we can see it drops here. The problem here being we haven't done any configuration for the return packet to come back to Alice. So as you saw in that simulation, it went all the way through to Bob, got to our destination, can't come back to the source because this router has no static IPv4 route back to Alice. I've gone ahead and done the configuration for router 2, so all I did was add the static route of Alice's network, which is 192.168.1.0, remembering it's a network address that you want in the statement. and then forwarding it on to this .1 address. So now, if we simulate a packet from Alice to Bob, we'll click play, and as before it goes from router 1 to router 2 to Bob, back from Bob to router 2, and now instead of dropping, it forwards it back on to router 1, and then back to Alice with a nice check mark. Everything working as expected.